Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Darnell Price, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Momentum Movers. I hope everybody enjoyed trading last week. I more than enjoyed it. I hope they were able to take out some cash from the markets. I hope you were able to navigate because it was pretty volatile. I know if you tuned in to the last video, that was something that that we had talked about as far as expectations going into next week. We'll get into how things transpired and how things measured up to those expectations in a bit when we get to the charts. First and foremost, like always, I think we should set context. And in the spirit of doing so, we'll get right over to our news calendar. So this is last week. We had Fed speakers. There's actually more Fed speakers than what I talked about. If you go to the filter and put in more of the lower impact news events, I want to say there were more Fed speakers. You had Barr, I think we missed out on. We didn't get any of the ones that are yellow. I thought it was more than this, but maybe I'm wrong. In any case, I don't want all of them. I don't want these down here. I just care about the medium and the high. Okay, but in any case, let's go into next week. What should we expect news-wise? So it seems we have a loaded week next week. A lot of red, right? There's a lot of events that could potentially move the markets. How they'll move the markets, what expectations. Oh wait, no, this is the month after next, right? This is next week. Okay, so maybe we did. Let's go back and see real quick. This is when we had all the Fed speakers. Let's put in low impact news. Yeah. This is the same stuff. Maybe I just clicked the button twice. In any case, moving forward, progressing forward, always moving forward with momentum. That is important. Do not stay stagnant. Move forward. All right, so next week, what's today? Today is the 21st. We will be going into the 21st to the 28th. Is that right? This month, this year is moving right on along. But so as far as setting expectations or framing out next week, we have a lot of red on the docket for next week, right? That's pretty notable as far as what that red would be and when we'll expect it. Not red as in red candles, but just high impact news events next week. So we have flash PMI, right? That's an inflation read. We have Fed Powell. He's always getting pretty gabby on the mic. GDP, unemployment claims on Wednesday and Thursday, or was that just Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday after the bell, we got Powell. Then we get some numbers released on Thursday. And then we have core PCE and some sentiment from the University of Michigan. So we got a loaded week. If you look at the orange, there's some durable goods. There's some more Fed speakers, home sales. Basically, we have a lot of opportunity for huge price swings. So big ups, big downs are possible all over the markets, right? That's what we have to look forward to for next week. As far as what else do we have here? Earnings. Yes, so earnings season kicked off last week pretty good. I know Tesla, they disappointed. They did state that Q4 this year I think you can expect to see the Cybertruck. But as far as his economic outlook, Elon Musk was very pessimistic, to say the least. And with somebody with his level of granularity into the market, I don't know if you're familiar with his fulfillment process, but it's like it's very in tune with new vehicle orders. Like you have the automaker who is in higher demand than most, while you have GM and Ford. They report, right? They report next week. That's gonna be interesting for obvious reasons. But I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, Elon Musk, he's talked about it in one of his interviews, how he could see the leading indicators of how the economy is performing, on almost a real time basis. So for him to say it's bearish, I would treat that with greater importance than we do like some of these economic numbers, right? Like if he's given us the foreshadowing of what we should expect in these numbers coming forward, right? That's just my 2 cents. I could be wrong. It's not necessarily about being right or wrong in this. It's more about framing a thesis, and trying to stay realistic, right? In your expectations, not based on, just pretty much keeping your ears and eyes tuned into, the news, weeding out all the clutter, and getting to the facts from sources, people who also like to remain objective. You could say what you want about Elon, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. Maybe I'll make a rant video. In any case, as far as the earnings next week, and important market moving companies that'll be presenting, I don't really see much on Monday earnings wise. Not really nothing there. As far as a Dow components, and companies that would move the market on Tuesday, I would say it'd be those three. Maybe you would include GM, considering their UAW issues. As far as transportation sector, and that I think GM, listening to their earnings call, when it comes to unemployment claims and things like that, and just how this UAW experience is affecting them, and things like that may be an interesting read. But as far as like just out the alpha in the markets, I would stay above the top 4 on the list. So before the open, we have Coca-Cola and Verizon. Verizon being the main component, or not the main, but I think that would be for communications, the XLC on the S&P 500, the Spiders ETF. Then we have Microsoft and Alphabet. This is where I think earnings season, the earnings week, the earnings docket really kicks off. You want to pay attention to these. The rally we had going up after the AI mania, before the AI mania, since the sickness, we'll call it, for YouTube algorithm's sake. Before that, you had FANG, and it was very important. Well, and then also cleaning that up a bit, when you consider the weighting of Microsoft on the XLK, the tech sector of the S&P 500, this will be important. Meta, another one. I really don't care about IBM. Meta is a name you'll want to pay attention to, and we'll get into why when we get to the Nasdaq. The rest of these, anything else down here? Boeing, when you consider that they should be getting a lot of orders for obvious reasons, what's going over overseas. There's a lot of tension right now, a lot of things to be mindful of, and defense is one of them, right? For Thursday, we have after the close Amazon, very important. We have consumer, when you want to read on inflation, when the sickness came, everybody was staying home, they was ordering offline. And so if you want to know about the spending power of the consumer, that would be one to watch when it comes to discretionary products and staples, I suppose, too. The UPS, most definitely. There's your transportation. Those are your goods that are moving across not only the U.S. but the world. They'll have a granular insight, such as Elon would, with things as well. Southwest, I think that's a component of the Dow transports. Very important. Dow transports leading a decline is usually a big indicator of future market market participation, right? As far as a long-term indicator, when the Dow transports break down, that's usually when you want to start looking for a more substantial sell-off in broad markets. Then we have Ford, that's going along with GM. So basically, it's a pseudo pretty impactful earnings calendar. Again, we have Northrop Grumman. There's some more defense. We have some energy companies in here. If you want to care about, the United States is a service-based economy. We do have some agriculture in the Midwest. If you want to know how they're doing, I would pay attention to the earnings on Tractor Supply. We have Capital One. We're getting into financials now. We know about JPM. They had a decent number. Could some of the other banks, we want to know how they're weathering the storm of Jay Powell's credit contraction, right? With the 10-year last, it was at the doors of 5%, and credit conditionings are tightening because of the Fed rate hikes. We're going higher for longer. Credit availability and the like should be very difficult now. It should be affecting, these rate hikes have been going on for some time now. So it's trickled down to the banks and businesses. The regular consumer should be feeling the credit tightening as well when it comes to maybe purchasing vehicles, getting leases, mortgages, things of that nature. What used to be a different, a lower interest rate, now you're going from 7 to 14% real quick, right? So credit conditioning's tightening, something to be mindful of. We want to see how it's affecting the balance sheets on banks, as deposits would be decreasing, being that people can't use credit as much as they could, and also loan demand. Well, not demand, but they wouldn't be giving away loans so freely in a time like that. Let's see. So yeah, more energy, right? So yeah, then it looks like starting on the back half of the week we get into energy. So basically, there's a lot of landmines in the earnings calendar. A lot of companies that are very impactful in themselves, right? Like your Alphabet and Microsoft and Metas, that will definitely move the Nasdaq. But then you have a lot of companies sprinkled in here that would foretell, sector, what's the word for it? They would be able to, foreshadow sector health of different sectors of the S&P 500, because that's what's important now, right? Like, we have the things that will affect the Nasdaq, but the S&P 500 is composed of a decent amount of components, and like your consumer discretionary, tech, healthcare, energy, utilities, industrials, building materials, all those many ETFs inside of the S&P When you start taking those out, and maybe we should look into those on here on video. I'm gonna try to keep this video short, so we won't get into it in great detail, and definitely not on this video, right? I just really want to recap and then give my 2 cents on what I feel like is going to happen next week. If viewers and subscribers and likes and things of that nature, if an interest is showed on this channel, I'll do that. But right now, it's pretty much just, yeah. In any case, so what do we have going into next week? How did the Dow perform? I think these are Friday's numbers. We had a bloodbath. It wasn't, that bad of a bloodbath, but we were down for Friday for the week. VIX above 20. Yeah. So, yeah, going into this, we got Elon right here. Tesla stock ends the week down 15%. There we go. Right? We'll talk about stock specific stuff. Don't want to put an X on it, but as far as my take on it, I pray for peace, right? That's gonna be our stance on that. UAW says more to be won despite offers from, my bad, didn't mean it. Yeah, so yeah, we have the UAW strikes, how that's affecting the automakers. Just gonna breeze through these headlines, just see what's on top of mind going into the weekend. The Dow dumping, Nvidia, they're waiting. Nvidia normally reports at the end of earnings season, so we'll be waiting for a while for Nvidia. They usually come, just out of the blue at the end of earnings season. Why can't I scroll? Scroll's all messed up. Okay, there we go. I didn't mean to jump you around like that, but let's see here. House Republicans, yeah, that's stock specific. U.S. reps up fiscal year. So the economy is still growing. I wonder how Jay Powell feels about that. High rates. Yeah, high rates would be bad for Bitcoin. Here we go. So the same stuff we were talking about, just a minute ago. The mortgage rates are increasing. Bankman-Fried, I've been following this guy here and that FTX debacle. It's been an interesting listen. I'm not sure if you could search him on YouTube and you'll have plenty of reporters, especially Tiffany Fong. I've been following her and her take, being that early on she as a reporter, her and Sam had a decent relationship, and so I like going to her for her take on things. She's been in court taking notes, coming back reporting about what transpired in court. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, stock specific, Dropbox. Nvidia is still, yeah, they are the darling. They're down a bit. I feel like they have a lot lower to go, at least another 50%. We may pull up an Nvidia chart before I leave. Like and subscribe, comment, let me know that's something that my viewers would be interested in. That's very important, right? Any case, we're going to move on. So basically, let's see, if we had to sum this up, we all know what he said last week. UAW, we're hoping that Nvidia saves us. We have a lot of things that are happening macro wise, not stock specific, that's on top of mind, right? And mortgages are high, and we have a little entertainment here, but it could affect crypto, right? We're talking about crypto from this angle, and then I want to say so there's a lot going on. Wrapping up the week, and we're hoping Nvidia will save us in a few weeks. We might see some downside. That's what I get out the news. That's what I get out of it. We don't have to go in and read the articles. I think the headlines pretty much speak for themselves on that. Getting into the charts, is this where we should be right now? I'm not sure if you watched the last video. We talked about our pathing for the week. I think these are off a little bit. When I was trading, I think I drug the lines, because Friday is supposed to be here. But in general, if you look at that video and you look at where we went, we followed that path, to the T, right? So it's very nice when that works out like that. It doesn't always, but it's very nice when it does, right? So this is close to right. Sunday at 5:15. Okay, is this one right? And there's your Monday. But that Monday, that's the end of day Monday. So it was, I probably just moved this out of the way while I was trading. It should be there. Okay. All right, that looks about right. So talking about what happened, I was expecting, if I remember right, let's clean up some real estate, get us some real estate. But I drew attention to this overhead supply and how the neckline of that supply was right here, right? That's what you would call the neckline. I didn't think we would go too far above it. I didn't think we'd go above this red line at all. I thought it would have been massive resistance, also considering that there's also a lot of supply from the past, high time frame supply, right? If we get on, trying to keep everything organized. So I thought we would stay pretty much below this dashed red line. That's where I built the thesis on that fact. That would be our upper boundaries. As far as the lower boundaries, I had this green para. I didn't think, considering how strong it was on the upside and how strong it was to break through that significant price action right there. Give me a second. Excuse me, as winter approaches. But in any case, I felt like there'd be resistance, and that's where we'd sell off from. And with the target for the week of down there, I didn't feel like that was too much to ask for as far as a downside weekly target. For that to happen, we would have had to first draw liquidity to the downside, which is what that was. That was pretty much a draw on liquidity, and we delivered it over the course of the week, delivering it to the other side right here. That said, so price delivered as expected last week. Like I say, that doesn't happen always, but what should we expect going forward? So we have, I guess we should just game this out real quick. We have significant resistance here and here, and we have support here, right? Let's bring our Monday over. So Monday would start here, and I'm bearish. I think everybody should understand why. There are people, this is a market, it is efficient. There are people on both sides willing to take the long side, that this would be the bottom. They do have a valid case. This is prior support, right? I could see that. It's not my MO. It's not my modus operandi to trade this long. I'm not finna catch it. I love catching knives. I'm not finna catch this one, right? We're remain objective, keep things in context. That's why it's so important to stay mindful of the news, your position in the world, your position in just the economy. And when you consider the strength of the red, we talked about 2 videos ago where that comes from, that high time frame downside parabola. It's very strong. This executed nicely. It was drawn before price action was there, but I kept it. I was like, this was just supposed to be a path. It was the path. So I would expect this to provide some decent resistance, right? We did exited a few times on wicks and a few closes, but for the most part, this was our path lower. And we have this green line that was pretty much just the bounds for some supply to get us into, yeah. So I'm expecting lower, right? 2 videos ago we said we'd bound the week by this blue line. How many days do we have left in the week? We have the month, I mean, we have a week and 2 days left, right? So our target per se is right there, but that's the weekly target. I think we could move that in just a day, right? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that if we're going down, we would go down lower than that. So if we went a monthly move lower, where would we be? So yeah, Monday should be a decent sell-off, and we'll go back and look at the news and game it out why. What do we have over here? So for a monthly move, if I had to draw a resistance of where I would expect to find support, I would be looking about right here. That's where I would be looking. I'm gonna change the month. The month is not gonna be bound by that blue line. Monday may be bound by that blue line. I think the month. I think especially considering the news that we have coming out. So we have economic news that's very impactful all week long. A lot of high impact news events, right? Is this my Friday? Yeah, that's next Monday. Yeah, so we have some high impact news events, right? And we have earnings releases, right? And what we didn't talk about was the VIX and the dollar. Let's see what we're doing over here. VIX is breaking out, right? VIX is breaking out. VIX futures. If you zoom in, let's go. It's at a 30-minute, not a 30-second. Yeah, so we have an inverse head and shoulders. It's broke out. As long as the VIX is above 20, the market should be seeing a lot of volatility. I would be expecting volatility to expand at a minimum of 22, right? So the range, the average daily range, the range of each daily candle should be getting a lot bigger as we approach 22, if not more, right? Like I say, I feel like the VIX is breaking out. This is time to start, winding down those portfolios. You sell high and you buy low. We're breaking out. This VIX, it has room historically. If you just look at historic prices, you would draw a mean. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a cold. Yeah, but if you drew the mean of this price, just the average. I would say the mean would be about right there, right? It spent a lot of time below it. We have a little bit above, but on average, price over the last 2 years has been found, for the VIX has been found in this location. This is where you should expect the VIX to be. So it is not unheard of for volatility to be entering back into the market, right? VIX does not, over the last 3 years, exist on the lower end, right? You should actually expect for, a cross of equilibrium and a return to it, right? The pendulum swings from side to side, side to side, equilibrium, right? Equilibrium here. But yeah, that's how market psychology would work in a case like this, right? We don't, as humans, we don't just go from an extreme to center. We go from one extreme to the other, and then we find our center, and we go from extremes and find our center. All right. This is just a chart of human psychology. That's all it pretty much is. But in any case, we should be looking to overshoot, I would say, 30, right? We should be looking for something major. As far as, we'll take a look at oil in a minute. Where's the dollar? Dixie. Okay. The Dixie. Let's get a little more granular. As you can see, my drawings from last week are still on the chart. They're a bit outdated at this point. But if we were to just say where the dollar, so we really want the Dixie, the dollar, to hold 106.10, right? As long as we're above that. If you're a bear, you want the dollar above 106.10. We do have liquidity below us, so excuse me. Sorry about that. We do have liquidity below us, so if we do come down here and test this area, you can expect a strong candle off of it, right? I would like us not even to come back down here and test. I would be looking for us to start making our way up to this resistance. It's just me, the way we traded in this area. I know we are making technically highs, lower highs, lows. We technically made a lower low there. We may come in early. I really don't see that. I really just see the dollar. You really want to see the dollar break out of this 106.7 and start making way. Thought I deleted that. But start making way back up there. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Put that back. All right. Let's lock those in place, cause yeah. All right, but yeah, that's what I would be expecting. It could move sideways more. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of neutral on the dollar. I'll just be looking for what it likes to tell me as it breaks. Where's my rectangle tool? As it breaks, and I don't even think I have it set up to draw. I'll just use these. But as it breaks the range denoted right here, if the dollar breaks down from here, I'll be bullish until we get here. If we break this level, then the markets are gonna roar. When the markets break 105, that's when it's time to buy buy stocks, right? When the markets break here, we're gonna be capitulating. I take that back. The time to buy stocks is when the markets break back inside of this level, right? I feel like we're gonna break this level and head north, but the bull run, this will be the bottom, and then we'll slowly grind higher to a breakout. This will be the breakout, right? The next time we cross this, we should be pretty bullish. That's just my opinion. It's not necessarily going to happen like that, but just watching how the dollar trades, that's what I would be watching out for. So, anything else? Let's get right to price action. I think we've talked a lot on this video. Yeah, that's the chart I was trading. That's the 1 hour chart. Okay. So that said, expectations. See, why are my rectangles moving? I know I had Monday firmed up nicely. Right here, right? I'm not sure why my rectangles move like that. So yeah, there's our Monday. Hopefully, that stays like that. We might need to subdivide. Yeah, 'cause if that's Monday, sorry about that, I'm back. But yeah, no, see, Monday should be longer than that. I'm sorry, guys. Monday goes, I use Sunday and Monday together as if they were one day. Wow. Why is the bottom always saying? Oh, because this is a 15-minute chart. That's all. Alright. So Monday the 23rd. To Tuesday. At 1,500 right there. But the market settlement is at 17 or 16. Let's say 15. I'm sorry about how much time I'm taking on this, but and then we have the rest of the week would start there and go to Friday at 3 p.m. Alright, so that's what we're looking at. So when we zoom in, as far as expectations, price will be here, right? Monday, what I'd like to see, what I'd expect to see, depending on how we open. I would like to see us open gap up, right? We have a gap, and let me get it. Let's see. So if we could open above anywhere right here, retest higher, we may not come out of there, but I think early Monday, I don't know, we might get some news events this weekend. So what is this? What time is this right here? Like early on in trading, are we going lower? This is end of day Monday. Yeah, this would be the bottom. I hope we don't even. It's hard to say. Monday. Like Monday is set to start off bearish if we stay down by this blue line, right? Like it's bearish early on at that point, and I mean the blue line is there, so I can't ignore it. But the only way we could get some sideways to stay in this region here. It could get us sideways to the 26, right? But any touches of this upward parabola would get us lower. A break of this green would get us lower. But this blue, it depends on how it holds us. It confines price. I'm thinking we break green early, right? And I mean the blue won't. When does the blue not become a factor anymore? By Monday's close, right? Monday is set to be like a capitulation event. Monday could get pretty bad. Monday. Huh. This is my first time looking at this. That's why, I traded the charts for what I had Friday, and I'm looking at it today. And so by 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday, at the earliest, Sunday at, what time is that? 10 o'clock? Sunday at 10 o'clock. I would start watching the news, being mindful, being in the charts. By Sunday at 10 o'clock, you wanna keep your eyes on. You wanna have your head on a swivel starting around that time. The markets will open. I think. What time market opens on Sundays? I want to say 5 o'clock. So between 5 and 10, you have 5 hours where we could come up. But around that time, and you have until Monday at 3 a.m. So between, what is that? Between Sunday at 10 and Monday at 3. Between these two times, you want to stay above. You want to set an alarm here. You do not want markets below 14.6. This is the price right here. You do not want to see Nasdaq futures below this number right here. That's the line in the sand. If we break 14.6, there's nothing below us. Yeah, and if it happens, it should happen, if it's gonna happen early on, it's gonna happen before 3 a.m. Monday, before New York not New York, London close on Monday is what you're looking at. Which makes sense considering the bloodbath we had, the downside price delivery. So, yeah, that's Monday. Let's get rid of some of these drawings. All right. So yeah, let's put that back. Monday, something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and just draw it, down. All right. We could get a bounce here. You wanna break. You wanna break right here, because if you don't break, you go down again. I need to stop drawing with that because it moves. Let me just go back to the arrows like I did last time. I think the arrows that are actually on the chart are better than that drawing tool thing. So we could go here to, did I not lock it? Okay, and then we'd be looking for here. Here, but after here, I don't know what happens this day. We gotta look at the earnings calendar. But then you start, it's pretty much, this is a dumpy day. What day is this? This is Monday? Monday afternoon? Monday after, huh? Oh, this is still Monday. Monday is, you want to exit that parabola by Monday. You do not want to stay compliant by that. Monday is, this is all Monday. We don't get to where it's not possible to be in the parabola until Monday at 10 o'clock until 10. I can't keep Monday here. I have to extend Monday all the way down to where It would be impossible to be in a parabola. Monday. I mean, that's crazy. That would be a crazy Monday. That's a bit wild. You really, like, just put this number on your charts. Because next week is set to be pretty bad. I didn't mean to get silent, but it's just, you want to go sideways here. Bulls want to stay above 14.6K. There is no room for sideways. There is no room for anything outside of this green parabola, right? Like this market is not good. There's no room for error. Like, we either go down or we go up. That's pretty much it. There is no chop sideways. All that is over with. It's time to pick a side. We either gonna go up and face a lot of overhead resistance, right? Where are we close? What do we close? We right here at these wicks. And this is a strong sell-off. And that momentum. We're going down next week, guys. That's really it. If you need a path for next week, here, we could delete all this. You don't need a chart. You need two things. You need this right here. You only need one line on your chart. Next week, copy this. And you could delete all of this. This is it. If you want to know the chart for next week, it is simply this. That's not it. Where is the number? I could have swore I copied it. Maybe I could just paste it. Okay. Yeah, it was copied in the image, but not the number. Copy that. Okay. Yeah, this is your chart for next week. Let's go into a medium time frame. That's the only chart you need. We are going to touch this line. Once we touch this line, you should hope for one of the two things. All right, that's your chart for next week. Where, if you want to know a target, where we're going on either side, we're either going here or here. As far as not, I don't know if we'll make it way up there by the week, but you know, you could target somewhere up in there. I don't even care about the upside, but I have to stay unbiased, right? Let's get a solid upside target for the end of the week. We put all it in 1 week, so yeah, that's not too bad of a target. For the downside, I would be eyeing the shelf back here. That also includes that also shows prior support. So if you're looking for a chart, you don't need no fancy nothing, parabolas, this, that, and the other. When is Friday? Friday is the 27. Okay. The 27th. It's like right there. Alright. So this is what you would be looking for. Something like that. It's very binary. Next week will be. Right? And if you wanted to just put your parabola on there, it fits it pretty good. Maybe, we'll hit it before Friday, but that'll be your target. Okay. I think what do we do? We went through everything. We ended on the Nasdaq. Yeah, this is pretty much a chart for next week. I don't see too much else left to say. I check my comments on these videos, regularly. I'm hoping that more people will watch them. They're a bit unconventional. I get it. My production quality could improve. I get it. If you want to talk about why I make these videos, if you made it to the end of the video, I like to, it's not a paid sponsorship, but Top Step is, so they will fund you, right? You would have to pass a challenge. They're called combines, but you could get any of these 3 accounts. They're not much. They're a monthly fee, right? But if you pass it in the first day or two, I think the quickest you could pass one is 2 days. I passed mine. It took me about a week, right? You don't have to pay. I got the 150K account. And they fund you. They'll give you an account and you trade for them, right? So you would, this is actually ordering another one. I don't need another one. And okay, so I didn't mean for it to come here, but as far as my performance, yeah, so I've traded it 2 days. The first day I was at work, pissed because it was some great price action, as we talked about last week in the charts, and I couldn't really focus on trading. I didn't want to blow the account since I had just won it, so I stopped trading when I got around 900. The second day, yesterday, I killed it. I crushed it in the markets. I had a great time. As far as my numbers, they could be better. I know a lot of this was during a lot of volatility. At one point yesterday, I had lost upwards of like 85% of my profits. I had scalped all of the after hours trading, and I could show you on the charts. I did say we were going to cut this video. I wasn't trying to get into this, but yeah, 7 out of 4 of my trades, I'd have a 7-win streak, and then I'd lose 4 consecutive trades. And that's trading. You will have your losses. What's important is to manage your losses. My biggest loss was 194. My biggest win. You want to improve stuff like that, right? This means that I could cut my losers a lot quicker. But I will admit, at one point I did up my size, so I was accumulating these numbers pretty quick. So, but it's hard, yeah. So I'm not gonna over criticize. However, my win rate, that's the thing you can improve the easiest. Not taking as many risky trades. So I if I had to offer myself any criticism, it'd be that. But I mean, to say we went from 0 to right under 10K in 2 days, Top Step offers you a decent opportunity if you have the skills to exercise your trading without having to have a big account, right? They will prop you up with, a decent size account, and you will trade with them. So they have a payout split. When I signed up, it was, I want to say 90 to 10, where you keep 90% and they keep 10% of your winnings, which isn't bad, right? They'll 1099 you, so you don't pay capital gains tax. That part is good, and you know it's not live, right? It's sim trading. Once they watch you on sim, they'll send you a letter. I think I can show it to you if I could. Box. Can I get this over there without? So, but they'll send you a letter saying that they're interested in you trading for the actual firm, and you know that's cool and all. I'm more interested in you know I like things how they are now. It's not bad. I haven't got my first payout. So they have rules. You have to get 5 winning days of more than 200 to get the payout, right? To unlock your payouts. I think you could get up to 4 payouts a month. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Do not exceed. Yeah, you can't lose more than, if you lose more than 3K a day, you're done trading for the day. And they have a scaling plan, right? So I got this 150K account. I'm above the 45, so I could trade up to 15 contracts at one time. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm at 2 winning days, 2 days complete. If we keep this streak going, I can have a payout by Wednesday, right? My first payout, and you know, I could ring the register at that point, right? Like I've made, you know, the account is holding currently 8K. But I'm not gonna do that though. If I do take a payout, it won't be big. So I know I could be at the balance, be at above 10K by Wednesday. I may take a 5K payout. But I really want to grow this account so that I could add more risk on my trades. That's my goal. Because I'm not naive. I know I will have some drawdowns of 3K or more. But in this case, like let's say I drew my account down by 3K. I would only have one more, and I'd have 2 more, so 3 goes into 9 about 3 times, right? So I could draw this account down by 3K 3 times. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But you want to have cushions. I don't want to hit the 3K at all. But if I do, I want to be able to grow from there. I don't want to be at, because when you get to 0, you lose the account, right? You can't go negative. But as long as you're positive, you could lose up to 3K a day, and that's fine. And you could pay yourself, out of the account, which I'm all about that, right? But I first want to build up a cushion of like say 20K. What's a decent number? I can have a bad week. I doubt I'll have 5 consecutive bad days. So like 3 times 5, anything above 15K is what I'll take out on a weekly basis, right? As long as I have 15K in the account, I should be okay. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'll get this account up to 15K, and then like once a week, anything above 15K, I'll just snatch out the account. But yeah, I think I've rambled long enough. This isn't a sponsorship. They aren't sponsoring this. This is just, Top Step is an opportunity that I found to allow me to put my skills into practice without having startup capital like normal traders would, right? So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And yeah, trade well, trade smart, trade on. How do I get to my Donnell Price out?